The billionaire CEO of Dell is giving free money to 25 million American children. That is, if they agree to sign up for so-called Trump accounts. Right? And the accounts, which some are calling 530A accounts, are investment accounts for children that were established under the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. Though technically they're not active yet, and they're not actually expected to open up until next summer. But still, once those accounts are up and running, any child under the age of 18 will essentially be eligible as long as they have a social security number. Right? And under the current guidelines, the accounts can receive contributions from anyone, parents, relatives, employers, with a cap of $5,000 per child each year. And then the access to these 530A accounts will be locked until the kid turns 18. Right? And until then, the money will be managed by professionals, invested in US index funds, and grow tax-free until it's distributed. Think of it kind of like an individual retirement account, sort of. Because once the funds are available, recipients can invest them in qualified expenses like education, home ownership, or entrepreneurship, and any money that's not used can just stay in the account and continue to grow. So, for kids who are able to get regular contributions, this could be a very solid investment opportunity if the whole idea actually pans out, which I think it could, but also with this administration, it feels like a big if, like with most things. But that said, the kids who stand to benefit the most are actually US citizens born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. And that's because the Treasury Department's going to be giving them a one-time contribution of $1,000 in seed money to incentivize their parents to start an account. And so obviously that's a decent chunk of money, but you also have others noting that it's only going to go to a small percentage of American children. And well, that is where the Dell money comes in, right? Because today, Michael and Susan Dell announced that they're pledging $6.25 billion to help expand the number of kids who will receive seed money. And to be clear, I think the exact term for that is a shit ton of money. And in fact, the Dells believe that their gift will be the largest ever private donation devoted to American children. Now, as far as the details, the Dells say that the money will be used to give $250 to the account to 25 million children, 10 and under, who aren't eligible for the $1,000 Treasury grant. Though that also comes with some asterisks, things like it's been widely reported that the money will only cover children who live in zip codes with a median income of $150,000 or less. And then also, actually, in a fact sheet, the Dell said that the gift is expected to reach nearly 80% of children aged 10 and under across 75% of US zip codes. And with that, you had them noting that younger children will be prioritized if funds run out, but adding that if there is actually an excess amount of money, they may expand the benefit to kids over 10. And so then with all this, you have the Dells hoping that this will both incentivize more people to get these accounts and encourage other philanthropists, corporations, and governments to follow their lead. And with that, you had the New York Times reporting the approach could become a model for wealthy donors who want to give away money but have not set up foundations and don't know where to begin vetting recipient groups. And to that point, some major players have already started taking similar steps, with a handful of big companies, including Dell Technologies, announcing that they would match the government's $1,000 contributions to the newborn children of their employees. And so for right now, this is going to be a very interesting space to watch to see if and what it looks like when it launches, how other companies and philanthropists react to it. And in the meantime, I'd really love to know your thoughts here. But that, my friend, it brings us to the end of today's show, though of course there is more just a click away.